What's up, guys? Iceman here. So, I have a crate that's full of dinosaurs and Godzilla figures as well. So I was going to show you guys some of my collection. This, I think, is one of the coolest Jurassic World toys right here. It's the Indoraptor, and it's fully articulate, so it's very impressive. In fact, I think it's up to the standard of the Allosaurus that I think Hasbro made. I can't quite remember, but it was in 2000, sometime in the 2000s. Might have even been 2009. But the Allosaurus is epic. But this just kind of reminds me of it. I've never had it before. I've seen videos on the Allosaurus. But this thing is just very articulate. And I actually found another one at a garage sale recently. So I have two of the same exact one. Now, I haven't seen Fallen Kingdom yet. But I actually have it coming in the mail on Blu-ray. So I'm going to watch it soon. But, I mean, yeah, its mouth opens, its wrists turn and all that. It's a good size. So its tail moves, its ankles pivot and all that. It bends at the elbows, bends at the wrists. I mean, the toy is awesome. Now, this is a really cheap Kong. It's big. So it's that, what's the brand that made these things? I can't remember the brand, but I mean, I bought it to make a couple videos with, and I did. But it just feels really cheap. But it does look kind of cool, I guess. And it's big. So it's actually kind of burdensome having in a collection. But look at all this stuff I have in here. Like, I found this at a thrift store. This is that later Hasbro line or something, isn't it? Let's see what it says on there. It says, yeah, it's Hasbro. It's 2000. This was made in 2000. So I found this at a thrift store. It was like $1. I don't think it's complete. But some of my favorite items, like, this was from back in the day, man. This is the Lost World toy. What date is on this thing? Oh, this was at a thrift store. It's where I got it. Shit, I don't see a date on it, because it's covered by the sticker. But apparently I got that for $1.50 at a thrift store. I used to have this one when I was a little duck. Unfortunately, it's all bent, these seats. But this is that vehicle they used in the Lost World to capture the Pachycephalosaurus. Yeah. Oh, and there's a Godzilla toy. That's the Godzilla 98. Which, yeah, many would agree it's a pretty dumb film. But nonetheless, I mean, it's action-packed. But many would argue also that this is probably the weakest Godzilla of them all. Look at that. There's an action feature. Because don't they kill him with like a bunch of helicopters and just rockets? Or the helicopters and rockets just beat the shit out of him. And you know, Godzilla was never known to just be destroyed by the military, basically. Especially just a couple rockets. Here's one of the coolest Lost World toys right here. The Bull T-Rex by Kenner. Yeah. And I found this at a garage sale as well, for only a couple dollars. And actually another time I found another one. So I had two of these at one point. But yeah, these are epic. And he can swallow action figures, and you can take them out of his stomach. Oh yeah, that's from the Lost World line right there. I found this at a garage sale as well. This is a more recent one. This is by Jurassic World. I think its batteries are actually dead already. Let's see here. Yeah, it tries, but the battery's dying. Probably one of the worst Jurassic Park toys. Just this ugly T-Rex. This was the sad excuse for a T-Rex that Hasbro came up with when they had the Jurassic World line. Of course, many of you know this, but Mattel ended up taking over the Jurassic World line, and they did a much better job. But this is when Hasbro had it, so this was around 2014, 2015 when Jurassic World came out. And this was actually their, like, best T-Rex right here. It just looks horrible. It's super cheap, super light plastic. The tail's kind of funny how it's rubber. But yeah, this thing, man, this thing sucks. And here's what they did actually. Here's what Mattel did then. When they had the T-Rex, see, they made it bigger. Mattel's is bigger, right here. But see, they did a better job. Now, there are other ones by Mattel that I think are even better than this one, that I don't have. But I mean, at least the skull looks cool on this one. The proportions are a bit more accurate. Of course, they could even be improved upon. I think the body probably needs to be longer, the tail a little longer. The feet are huge, but they do that, of course, so it can stand. But, you know, there are some minor nitpicks on the model. And this one has electric stuff as well. So look at that. But it just looks cool when look at how the mouth opens. It's quite impressive. The skull, they did a really good job on the skull. Yeah, and then the tail has some action feature. See that? Some thrashing feature. So I had him in a few videos. Yeah, this one just sucks. Ooh. Okay, here's some other goodies. Here's one of my favorites from the Lost World line as well. Look at that. This Stegosaurus, I really like the model that they used in the Lost World Jurassic Park. Because you guys need to compare the Lost World Stegosaurus to the Jurassic World Stegosaurus. And they're much different. Like, see, this one has, its rear is lifted. And its tail is like parallel with the top of its back almost. Whereas the Jurassic World one, it has the droopy rear and the droopy tail. But I really liked the look of the Lost World Stegosaurus. So I was really disappointed when they went back to an older, more traditional model for the Stegosaurus in Jurassic World. I don't know if that was just a mistake. Like maybe they just outsourced the labor and had like the CGI or animatronic, more CGI, just whatever visual engineers they had. You know, maybe they were just cheap labor or something, but I don't know why they went back to the old school model of a Stegosaurus when the Lost World one I thought looked really cool. And just the way its back and head are oriented. It's just, man, I really liked that model. So I was disappointed to see that they went the other route with Jurassic World, and I think they even carried that along into Fallen Kingdom and probably the next one. I have some Godzilla toys in here. Here's just a pretty cheap one by Bandai, I think. But what is it? NECA makes some really cool Godzilla toys. I don't have any in this crate. I have some elsewhere. Oh, I even have a Jurassic Park 3 toy. Which, yeah, they were pretty bad, but they weren't as bad as what Hasbro did with Jurassic World. Check this out. Here's a Triceratops. This is one of the original Jurassic Park figures. And you press on the back right here and its head lifts. See? No batteries, no electronics. And it's mostly all rubber, except for the head is hard plastic. See, I mean, there are some attributes about these that are awesome. Like, look at the texture on the skin. Just a lot of detail. The paint job is really impressive. You know, the detail on these are great. So, some of that was lost in later times. Like even though the model on this one is nice, I guess a lot of what's unfortunate is just doesn't have the rubberized skin, because the detail on this one's pretty good, actually. And I was surprised, look at this, the legs even can go in and out. See, not just back and forth, but in and out. So you can have all sorts of poses with these things. But yeah, there's that Jurassic Park Triceratops. Looks like I have another pathetic T-Rex from the Jurassic World line by Hasbro. This one I found at a garage sale. I wouldn't have bought it new otherwise. Oh, I even have a Lego Indominus Rex, and Lego did a good job. Oh, this is actually a rip-off. This is based on the Lego model, but it's a rip-off of it. It was just really cheap. Look at this. I have the original electronic Dilophosaurus. Very impressive model right here. Yeah, this thing is really cool. When I was a kid, I had this one. I also had the rubberized one that would spit. But this one has the better proportions and stuff. This one looks better visually, I think. The other one feels cool. Pachycephalosaurus right here from the Lost World. You press this and his head lowers for attack. Yeah, this used to be my favorite. The Thrasher T-Rex. It's very loose though. But look at that. The model on this thing is awesome. And you can thrash the tail back and forth and it kind of moves its neck back and forth. Look at that thing. The legs are very weak, so they swivel around. You could actually open up, you could actually prop its mouth open. And its tongue acts like a lever. You press down the tongue, it'll shut its mouth again. But yeah, these legs are just very loose. And that's how a lot of them get, you'll find. But yeah, that's one of the coolest ones, I think. And then I have a bunch of these figures. I have some Schleek. Look at that. That's a cool one. By Carnegie or Schleek. I can't remember which one this is. Just the Parasaurolophus. And I was pleased to see those in Jurassic World. In fact, it's a pretty dramatic scene where the one dies. I forgot I had this thing. The original Indominus Rex, and this one was by Hasbro as well. Which they did better with, actually, but yeah, Mattel did a much better job. I found that Indominus Rex at a thrift store. But look at that, the young T-Rex from the Jurassic World line. I have a bunch of figures in here. The old Jeep. Oh yeah, this is Pop. Oh shit. Shit. Excuse my language. This is Popo, and Popo, they just have some awesome dinosaurs. Look at that. Yeah, that's a beautiful sculpture right there. The Popo was just my favorite for a while. I mean, hell, it still probably is. Oh, and here's Jurassic Park 3. This one is pretty good. The tail's too short, but you know, they can't. Sometimes they just make some cuts like that. Fits in the box and all that. Here's a Parasaurolophus. I remember seeing these in Jurassic Park, the original film. In the Brachiosaurus scene, you can see them way in the background at the end of that scene. They're just over by the pond in a small herd. I have some action figures. This guy was one of my favorites when I was a kid, 'cause he came with a bow and arrow, and it was actually functional. Here's Robert Muldoon. It doesn't really look much like him, but this is the original toy of him. Probably one of my favorite characters. I thought he was really cool, that guy. He's a tough guy, you know, and he was kind of in charge of the raptors and all that. He even tried to kill him. Oh shit, that reminds me, I actually have a Utah raptor somewhere that I recently obtained. Hey, this right here, I think this isn't the exact one, but this exact model, however, was my first Jurassic Park toy ever. Look at that, the raptor. Remember when I was a kid, I was so excited to get that. What a thrill that was when this stuff started to come out, and when the Jurassic Park was, when the trailers were released on TV, and then these toys started to be released. I just remember those days, and it was a lot of fun. So it was very exciting. I was really into dinosaurs when I was a kid. But anyway, maybe I'll show you guys more dinosaurs in a future video. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of them. See, and here's another Papa one. This is like the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus right here is what it looks like, but this is the Papa one. In a lot of the Papa figures, they have articulation in the jaw. You see that? These are really nice figures. I have more by Papa as well. Here's kind of a special edition one. It's the Lost World Baby T-Rex. In fact, Hasbro might have made this one, and they did pretty good. Hasbro did a great job on the Lost World line when they started working on those. because I think they actually made a lot of the Lost World line. Or Beyond the Lost World line, maybe is what it was. Here's the Carnotaurus. But anyway, if you guys will, I can't remember how it went. Kenner made the original ones for Jurassic Park and the Lost World. I don't remember. Maybe Hasbro made the Lost World ones and they did a great job. But then when they, like years and years later, yeah, Hasbro did this one too. This is the original Lost World Baby T-Rex. They did a great job for the Lost World line, but then all of a sudden everything changed when Jurassic World came out many years later. You know, we're talking, 15 years later. And they signed up for it and just everything was, it was far different. But of course, the way they make toys and stuff has changed in that amount of time, but they just went super cheap on them. So they were just unrecognizable, as in terms of comparing them to, say, what Hasbro did for the Lost World. But yeah, if you guys will like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Which of my dinosaur figures is your favorite thus far from what you've seen? Here's a chaos effect. Look at that. I think this was like after the Lost World or something. They started making like some chaos effect line. Or something of that sort. But yeah, if you guys will like the video, hit the thumbs up button. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace be with you.